Good afternoon, Pete.
Afternoon, Rob. How are you doing?
I'm well. I hope you are too. A bye week for your team. How did it go, and how did you make use of it?
Yeah, great timing for us. Just really coming off that difficult game against Monmouth, to be able to, get a few guys back last week. We gave the guys the weekend off, gave them an opportunity to kind of rest and recover, but really used it. A lot of fundamentals, a lot of techniques, and really just trying to hone in on who we are, what we do, and how we do it. And was really pleased with the productivity that we got done last week, and excited to get back at it this week.
From an injury standpoint, is it more just guys healing bumps and bruises, or are there some guys that have missed some time that you think you might get back down the stretch run?
Yeah, hopefully we can get a couple of our linebackers back that have been out, and then same thing with our tight end. So the it's a little bit of both. The bumps and bruises guys, I think, really flourished in how we approach practice, as they're feeling much better this morning. And then some of the guys that have been out, we feel like we're going to be able to add them back into the mix. So kind of a combination of both.
At the pretty much at the midpoint of the season, 5 weeks still to go. Just take a look at your team at this point and start on the offensive side of the ball. Just kind of give me an idea of what has pleased you to this point, and maybe some things that you'd like to see get better over these next 5 games.
Yeah, I think very pleased. Obviously with our quarterback play, I think our freshman quarterback gets better every week, and I think he had one of his best games against Monmouth, and he showed that. He had a really good second half against Elon, and so I think he's getting better every week. I think our wide receivers, we knew coming in that John Dunmore was going to, be somebody that people had to worry about, and I think that's held up. Jason Doss, the same thing. Jason averaging 20 plus yards of reception right now, doing a great job of being our big play guy. And so I think our run game's not where we want it to be. We graduated three of our top rushers, and we're playing a true freshman back there. Al Wooten, I think, has stepped in and done a great job. But we need to get a little more productivity out of that run game, and that's something that we worked on last week.
How about on on the flip side on the defense? What do you like? What needs to get better?
Sure. Yeah. I think, again, we got a young D line. I like how those guys are playing. They've been aggressive. They're creating problems. I think, our biggest issue right now defensively has been third down. We just last couple games haven't been able to get off the field on third down. I think we've gotten people in third and long situations, and whether it's a coverage or a position here, or we let the quarterback escape. So again, things that we worked on last week, just really honing in on being better in those situations on defense.
Talk about some of the youth that you have on both sides of the ball. Are there any guys that maybe going into the year that you didn't think would make big contributions, but have continued to get better through this first 7 or 8 weeks of practice that could have an impact in this last stretch?
Yeah, no, I think we played who we thought we knew those guys were going to be contributors for us, and really giving some other guys an opportunity through that. But I mean, we just went through the list. I think we've played, or eight of our freshmen right now have played, and have used their red shirt, and then six of them still have the opportunity to play in some more games. So when you're playing 14 guys out of your freshman class, I think we were getting the productivity that we liked, and guys that we felt like when they came in, they'd have an opportunity to contribute, they'd have an opportunity to make our team go. And really, we've relied heavily in the last 2 years, and we'll continue to do it again. Part of the bye weekend was, we had about 10 of our commitments on campus to solidify their official visit. And so, we're going to continue to build through the high school ranks. As some guys say, those are our draft picks. We're getting those guys in, and then we'll add transfers here and there, but really like what we've been able to do through the high school recruiting.
Your team's sitting 3-4, 1-2 in the league. I don't think anybody that's seen your team plays thinks that it is really what your team is, because you've lost a bunch of close games. As you sort of refocus on this bye week to the last 5 weeks, what has been the message to the team to try to finish this season strong?
Yeah, I've told them all year long we're close, and I've told them all year long that we're right there. So I appreciate you saying that, because I think every game we've had an opportunity, and other teams give them credit. They've found ways to do it, but whether it all our FCS losses, I think we're right there. And so we got to continue to just build on the positives that we've had. Know that we're not that far away, and understand that one play goes a different direction in any of those games, and we can be a completely different team. And so, to me, from a record standpoint, for me, we're still that team. And you know, we went into last week saying, hey, we're going to focus, on this week and get better this week. I liked what we did. We're playing a team in Stony Brook that I think is very similar to us. Their record's the same as ours. And I think they've been in the games, that we've been in. I mean, their game against Monmouth, I mean, that was a tight game in the fourth quarter. Final score doesn't reflect it because of some turnovers, but they've played really well. And so, we know that last year's game, they completely got after us, and they executed at a much higher level than we did. They coached at a better level than we did, and the result was ugly. So our guys remember that, and our guys have been pushing towards it. But we know we're going to go in there, and it's going to be that type of game. I think both teams play very similarly. They got a great running game. They got a very stingy defense. So I think it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us.
I was going to let's dive into Stony Brook a little bit. You mentioned the running game. I think everybody knows about Roland Dempster and how dangerous he is, but now they've added a quarterback in Chris Ellis who can also make some plays with his feet. What challenges does that present to have two guys who can hurt you with big plays with running game?
Well, when your quarterback can run, I mean, it's an 11-man game now because he's accountable in your count, and so you've got to be able to know that at any point in time he can pull it. I think they run the quarterback power with him pretty well, the quarterback gap scheme with him, and I think he's just as dangerous and hurt Monmouth. When the pass rush was there and they didn't stay in their lanes, I mean, I think he got half his rushing yards just taking off on pass plays. And we've seen his arm strength. We know what he's capable of. And so you complement that with Roland, and I mean, it's a tough thing to scheme up. So we've got to be extremely disciplined. We've got to be right where we need to be. And really, you may have one person for him, but both those guys are big guys that are hard to bring down.
And then you mentioned defensively, they've certainly improved, did a pretty good job defensively to kind of slow Monmouth down a little bit. What impresses you about the way they play defense?
Yeah, I think just the way they attack the ball. I mean, whether you're throwing a 5-yard route or you're handing the ball off, you're going to see 9 people around the ball. And so playing that 3 down look, and it makes it look like there's things that are appealing that you can take, but they just rally to the ball extremely well. And I mean, they get after it. And so you see 11 guys running to the football. So I mean, they're in unison as a defensive unit, all being on the same page is crucial. I think they're doing a great job, and it really makes it. I mean, again, Monmouth, great offense. They were struggling trying to figure it out there early on. So credit to their coaching staff. Coach Kosh does a great job, and I mean, I've defensively been very impressed with what we've seen.
All right, Pete. Thanks for the time as always this afternoon. Safe travels to Long Island, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Rob.